So, Midnight Hammer. That's not a Marvel villain. That's the actual name of the US military operation launched this week. And if you're wondering whether the name sounds a little overcompensating, let me just walk you through what happened. In the early hours of Sunday morning, while most of us were still trying to figure out if Iran was trending for oil prices, nukes, or another interpretive dance protest, the US military dropped 30,000-pound bombs on Iran's nuclear enrichment sites. Not metaphorically. Literally. This wasn't some quick flyby. No. 7 B-2 stealth bombers took off from Missouri, yes, Missouri, flew halfway across the planet, got gas mid-air like it was NASCAR for aircraft, and dropped bunker-busting bombs on Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Because if you want to make a point, you don't send a memo, you send a $2 billion aircraft with bombs that can turn a mountain into couscous. And just to make sure the message got through, an Ohio-class submarine popped up somewhere in the region and launched about 24 Tomahawk cruise missiles. Why both bombers and missiles? Because apparently, redundancy is freedom. Now, the Pentagon says it was a spectacular success. And if you define success as obliterating a heavily fortified nuclear facility with no US casualties, yeah, it checks out. Iran, on the other hand, said the damage was minimal. Which? I'm not calling anyone a liar here, but if your building gets hit by a 30,000-pound explosive and you say it's just cosmetic, I'd like to hire your contractor. Of course, retaliation followed. Iran launched missiles at Israel. Israel intercepted most of them. And the region collectively braced for the next shoe to drop, because the Middle East is apparently a payless and shoes just keep dropping. The whole thing was executed with surgical precision, involved over 125 aircraft, and was backed by months, possibly years, of planning. The GBU-57 bunker busters? First time they've been used in combat. They're like the iPhone of bombs, sleek, cutting-edge, and absurdly expensive. Look, whether you think this was necessary or reckless probably depends on your politics. But the facts are, the US just carried out the largest stealth bombing mission in history, the biggest bunker buster drop ever, and an underwater Tomahawk encore, for a 3-site strike meant to slow down nuclear enrichment. And here's the twist, nobody's declaring war. Just a lot of measured responses and firm warnings, and we reserve the right to defend ourselves, which in geopolitics is code for, see you next weekend. So what did we learn? That even in 2025, diplomacy can still mean flying 7,000 miles to drop something that weighs as much as a school bus. Because nothing says we'd rather not escalate like a mission called Midnight Hammer.